Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, so nobody's into me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah. Phone started jumping, what a day. Swear to God I need it, now I can't afford to wait. I just had a fan hit me up from Kuwait. Told him this would happen and we not a minute late. Seen them down bad, now they tryna hate. Same ones try to hit me for the raise. Got a meal, now they coming with a blaze. Check the numbers, fam, I swear I'm getting paid. I'm a don just like the Perrier. It's one time when I'm looking at a face. On the low like I'm pushing up the bass. Come down and I'll meet him at a gate. Got a check and I bought myself a place. They get some money and they blow it on bait. I don't flex but I'm pushing all the weight. Told them all I swear I got it's what it takes. Phone started jumping, what a day. Swear to God I need it, now I can't afford to wait. I just had a fan hit me up from Kuwait. Told him this would happen and we not a minute late.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And check that clock, Mafia. We are on time. Maybe for the first time in like a week or two. But anyway, guys, what is going on? Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys for hanging out with us here on this beautiful Wednesday night to do some TA on this thing that we call the crypto market. Trying to figure out what this thing is going to do next. Are we going to see Bitcoin? Am I still bullish, looking for those all-time highs? Or are we going to be looking for a little bit of a move to the downside? Now, if you guys have been watching the live streams for the past couple of weeks, couple of days, not couple of weeks. Hopefully you've been watching the live stream for the past couple of weeks. But if you've been watching for the past couple of days, you know there is a very, very, very key level that we've been looking at that, if lost, could lead to much more downside due to some volume gaps down below. Now, we are literally battling with that level right now, like to a T. We are above it. Right now, we're testing it. Are we going to lose this level? Are we going to get a bigger move down? To be quite honest with you, money flow may be pointing to some more downside, but I am still overall longer-term bullish, looking for those all-time highs to get hit, as we do know we have that chunk of liquidity sitting above those all-time highs. So we're going to be taking a look at all that on tonight's live stream, guys. I'm going to break down some of the trades that I'm in, as well as take a look at those altcoins. So without further ado, guys, go ahead and smash that like button. Every 100 likes we get gets you guys a spin on the Wheel of Pain and Pleasure. I don't think I'll ever be able to stop saying that, guys. Obviously, we haven't spun the wheel in a little bit here, but we still do take the likes into account. So the more likes we get on these live streams, the more giveaways we will do on Friday. And yeah, smash that like button. If we get 850 likes on tonight's live stream, I will personally send you $100 in XRP, because it hasn't moved yet, so it's kind of cheap. If I give it to you now, it might moon. So if we get 850 likes on tonight's live stream, I will personally send you $100 in XRP at the end of this stream. Well, to one person, not everybody. We'll pick one winner, but you got to be in the live chat to claim it, and we'll give you $100 at the end of the live stream. But without further ado, guys, before we jump into the charts, let's go ahead and say what's up to the Mafia. Shout out to Javit the Barber. Don't look at me, Javit. Don't judge me, brother. It's been like 3 weeks, man. I try to do it every 2 weeks. I try to get a haircut. Javit, I forget where you were at. Did you say you were in Virginia? Where did you tell me you were located? I might have to move the Frankie Candle studio down to you, bro, so I could just get consistent haircuts. I don't have to keep trying new barbershops, trying to get a good cut. So shout out to Javit the Barber. What is going on, bro? We got Melissa in the chat and Jessica, our female Candle Mafia representative. Our female Candle Mafia members are growing, guys. I think we're at like 3% female Candle Mafia members on YouTube. So shout out to you guys. Shout out to Jessica. Thank you for being here. Let's see. We got Trey in the chat. We got bada boom, Dirty 8 Racing. Shout out to you, brother. Let's get it. Let me know what you're racing. Oh my God, Mrs. Candles just scared the living God out of me. What is up, Mrs. Candles? At least show a hand. Let the hand be known. We can't see it. Okay, well, fingertips. You're showing fingertips. Get in here. This is looking a little weird. Let me get a little sniff here. Woo! Oh, baby, that Mrs. Candle's hand smells good, baby. Drop those Mrs. Candle's hands in the chat. We got Lucho getting one of the Frankie Candles membership. Shout out to Lucho. Brother, hey, you got to get back to rigging those giveaways, bro. I haven't seen you win a giveaway in a long time, but shout out to Lucho. Thank you for being here, and thank you for grabbing that. There's the Mrs. Candle's hands. Mrs. Candles, you got to bring the hand back in here. They're loving the hand. Come on. This is good for the algo. Oh, baby, it smells like coconuts and cotton candy. I love it. Anyway, guys, this is a crypto show. Shout out to the Candle Mafia. Show our mod some love in the chat, and drop those Mrs. Candle's hands if you got them. I like your what is it called? What are the things on your fingers? Your fingernails. Yeah, I like that color. I like that color on cars, to be honest, but it looks better on your hands, Mrs. Candle. Mrs. Candles. But anyway, guys, let's go ahead and the Mrs. Candles hands will never stop cracking me up. And just so you guys know, we put a lot of work into these emojis. That Mrs. Candle's hand emoji is a literal photograph of Mrs. Candle's hand. That is the real deal right there. But with all that being said, guys, with all that hand stuff out of the way here, let's go ahead and shout out to speaking of hands, shout out to Lazarus Hand says, fingernails. Shout out to you, bro. But without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump on into these charts because I want to take a look at what we got going on here because things are getting a little bit sketchy. Let's go ahead and jump in. So here we are, guys. Now, I will talk about this trade. I am in this long position. I'll be quite honest with you. In the shorter term, this is not looking too hot. But we'll explain this position in a little while. I am about at break even on this trade, I believe. Technically down 0.93%. So I'm down like basically a break even. I'm down like $50 right now. But we will go ahead and keep updated on this position. But we're going to go ahead and hide it for now because I want to go over the TA first. So obviously, guys, we have been kind of looking at some key levels, right, on the last night's live stream. Between right here, right, our key level of support does remain this blue box, which is a golden pocket. I don't want to say the golden pocket, but it is a golden pocket. And really the key level that I am kind of mostly focused on within this box is this weekly level, guys. And we are currently trying to reclaim this as support, and this does remain the key level of support that we need to stay above in order to get more upwards price action on Bitcoin. Now, this is something we've been looking at since, I think, the end of last week. Well, let me hear. I can actually look at the dates here. Let's see. 26. Yeah, so we've been looking at this for the past couple of days, right? Right once we broke through this level, this weekly was a very key level to flip into support. Now, we did test this on the very, very low time frames, like as soon as we broke, let me zoom out here. We're down here on the 1 minute time frame. We broke above this level. We tested it as support on the 1 minute and the lower time frames, but you guys know, last night on the live stream, I was talking about potentially coming back down and retesting this level as support on a higher time frame. And since then, we have come down, we broke below the level, and like I said, we are now trying to get back above it, or potentially starting to lose it right now. And this is kind of the line in the sand. I'll be honest with you guys. If we had made the thumbnail a little bit later in the day, I probably would have even changed that thumbnail. It's all still relevant, but I probably would have just changed it to like Bitcoin's biggest battle, right? Or like this is it for Bitcoin. Like this is the level that we've been watching, and like this is likely going to give us the fate of the price action moving into the next couple of days, right? If we are able to get back above it, this would be bullish in my opinion, and I would simply be looking to get accepted back into our volume profile, get a move to the POC, and then a move back up into that value area high. And with that being said, as long as we remain above that and we do come up to that value area high, I will still potentially be looking for that move above our current all-time highs, which is sitting here at about $73,951 on the Bybit chart. And then, if we did come up here, I would be looking to potentially flip that 786 to support and then get a move into these short liquidations that we have between 74 and 75, between about $74,000 and $75,424. And as you guys know, we talked about this last night. We know these liquidations act as magnets, right, for price. We kind of use that. I used again that Guido Italian guy selling ice cream on the beaches of New York. He's not going to be walking around that empty beach. He's got to go where the people are, aka where the money is. You can't sell your ice cream if there is no money to transact with, right? So price action is oftentimes attracted to these liquidation levels like a magnet. So again, if we get above that weekly, we hold that support. This would be bullish in my opinion. I would look for a local move to the value area high and then a potential breakout into these liquidations to create new all-time highs. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit in just a minute about some things on the charts that may be pointing against that. However, we'll get into that in just a second. But overall, guys, I am still looking for those all-time highs to get taken, at least as of right now. However, if we wind up losing this weekly and we do not flip it to support, you guys know, this is something we've been looking at this week. If we pull up that visible range volume profile, you guys can see here. Let me go ahead and zoom into the local price action. Let me turn off the value area low, value area high, and the POC here. And let's just take a look, right? So the reason we are looking at this, one of the reasons that we're looking at this as a very key level, or really the main reason why I want to get back above this and hold it to get the move up, is because if we lose this and we do not get back above it, guys, there is going to be a pretty high probability that we are going to fall through this low volume gap and get sucked down here to our next high volume node, sitting at about $67,000. Now, this is a little bit of a range of support, but we do have some significant levels down here, right? We have the high volume node, clearly, obviously, because of this, it's kind of the same thing, right? You have the high volume node, you have the POC of this little cluster of consolidation, and on top of that, even looking at our more macro volume profile, pulled from left to right here, you can see the POC of that range is obviously right on that high volume node as well. And then, when you take all the noise off the chart, right, and you're just looking at this as a, volume profile, you are simply looking at this as an acceptance back into your range, rejection, and now the next likely place for price to go is probably going to be that POC. So, just based off of, general volume profile theory, right? But we do understand if we get back above that weekly, it could be more likely to get the breakout. So this is literally like decision-making time for Bitcoin. If we flip this back to support, it's going to be bullish in my opinion. If we lose it, it's likely that we're going to come back down to that POC. And not just the POC, guys. There are a couple other levels down below. Now, just simply looking at the volume profile, be watching that $67,200 POC. So I'll go ahead and mark that out right here. Let me actually grab a horizontal ray. Bada boom, right? So we'll get that POC is going to be kind of the next major level to the downside, or the next main target, I should say. Now, as you guys know, I'm not necessarily a big fan of looking for long positions at a POC like this. However, this would be like the next target, right? Because the POC is also going to act as a magnet for price, pushing you all the way down there, probably going to cling to that POC a little bit. And then if you lose it, you're going to be looking down to the value area low, which gets closer to about $64,577. Now, if we pull some of our more, if we pull some Fibonacci retracements here, let me go ahead and grab it, pull it from the absolute low all the way up to the high here. You can see that you do have some nice confluence with your golden pocket of this entire move to the upside and your value area low. And then just underneath that, you do have your 786 Fibonacci retracement level sitting at 63.1, almost 63.2. It's about $63,182. So these are going to be the next kind of major levels. Like I would obviously, if we do wind up getting the move down to this value area low, in my opinion, this would be a valid place to be looking for a long. As you know, you might be thinking to yourself, right? Like I know a lot of people out there may not be as familiar with trading the volume profiles as I am, or some of the Mafia members are, but you know, you might be thinking to yourself, well, why wouldn't you be looking to long that POC if it's such a strong level? Well, the reason is because it is simply in the middle of this range, right? Let me highlight this range with a white box just so we can easily identify what we got going on here. Bada boom. And you can see here, right? And again, if we just clear up all the noise here, you know, simply put, based off the volume profile, you go from the high to the POC, and then you are expecting to eventually get down to your low. That is why I would not be as interested in taking a long here on that POC. Now, if we do come down and, you know, we wind up, I wind up deciding to take a long, you guys would obviously find out on a live stream like this. But as of right now, I would be much more interested in coming a bit lower, especially if we lose that weekly level, right? So, with that being said, the next real area I'd be looking for a long would be potentially the value area low of this range, right? So we'll come back down to the value area low, turn that blue for support. And then, yeah, we got to move down here. This would be safe to be looking for longs, in my opinion. You know, obviously based off of, you know, what price action is saying, are we getting the bullish confirmations, etc. And then even if we dip down a little bit more, we could look for that 786 to come in as backup to get us back into that range and then finally get the move to the upside. But for now, that is all going to rely on simply whether we hold this weekly level or not. And it does look like we are getting a little bit of a rejection here. Not exactly what you want to see, especially with the, we're going to get into Market Cypher right now because the money flow is not looking too hot. Now, again, you might be thinking to yourself, Frankie, if money flow doesn't look good, why are you looking to the upside? Why are you looking for those all-time highs? And simply put, it comes down to liquidity and market structure, right? So, and very, very likely, you know, we could be setting up for fake outs on the indicators. As you guys know, I have been putting a little bit more weight on the key levels, on the price action, on the liquidity, and on the volume profiles and Fibonacci levels, rather than leaning really, really, really heavily on our indicators, right? Because we're at a very, very high risk of potentially getting a fake out on the indicators just based off of the just where we are in the market right now. So, let's go ahead and continue on. Let's see. Yo, this is wild. Shout out to, hey, D Petty Crypto in the chat. Rob the Crypto's not. What is going on, guys? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you guys for being here every single day. Let's see. Shout out to Edward Diamond Hands. My life is complete. I don't know what completed your life. Hopefully it was massive gains on your Bitcoin trades. But anyway, guys, you know, that is basically what I'm looking at on Bitcoin, right? And like I said, I did take a little bit of a scalp long here, you know, basically at break even, might be down a little bit at this point. But again, the idea or thought process for this trade, and I'll be honest with you, right? Look at the 1 hour money flow. 1 hour money flow is coming out. 16-hour red dot is printing. If that money flow crosses over into the red, that might be the thing that we need to aggressively lose this weekly level officially and then get that bigger move down to our next key level at 67.2. So I want to be very clear here. I am this trade that I'm in right now is a small scalp, right? So if I get stopped out of this, I'm losing very, very little money, and I'm probably going to be doing a pre-recorded video pretty soon here, guys, on risk management slash trading psychology. You know, I had a couple people ask me if we could do a little bit more content on that, and I am happy to do that because, as you guys know, I'm the first person to tell you this is the stuff that makes you money, right? It's not all of the, everybody wants. It's the non-sexy things that are going to make you the money in this market. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through my recent P&L on one of my accounts and just talk about the wins and the losses. And when you look at that P&L, I've actually mentioned it here on the live stream. It's for the content account that I show a lot, one of the content accounts that I show a lot on the live stream, this Femex account. I want to go through that, right? Because there's a very, very clear trend. And anytime I show you guys like an account that I'm trying to flip, I've done a couple of personal small account flipping challenges where I start with like $500, was able to flip it into almost $2,000 within like the span of a week or two. Anytime I do something like this, there's a very, very clear correlation between why I'm able to successfully grow these accounts. And it literally has it's not because I got the best setups, right? The setups are fire, right? But it's not that, right? Obviously, you need good setups, you need a good strategy, but the reason I'm able to continue to grow these accounts and the reason why, or the kind of similarities that you see is that when you look through the P&L, the losses are much smaller than the wins, right? The wins are gigantic and the losses are very, very small. We're talking like lose $150, make $1,000. Lose $350, make $5K. Lose $450, make $12,000, right? Very small losses with very big wins. And I think I'm going to make a video about that because it's a very, very important thing. And I actually did make a mistake. And there is one thing on there that I have not mentioned in anything I've mentioned on the live stream before, but there is one trade there that went very, very red, may or may not gotten liquidated, and I want to actually go over and just really soak in the mistake that I made and talk to you guys about why that big red trade was there and why it's so important to stay away from the mindset of over trading and not setting stop losses or having sloppy trading hygiene and just forgetting about stop losses or having too many trades open. And it's just very, very clear. It's like typically I am strict, like almost like military. Like I stop out for small, and you'll see that in the P&L, right? It's like, again, $100 loss, $5,000 win, $300 loss, $1,000 win, and then all of a sudden there's like a real big loss there, and there's just such a clear difference in what I did for that trade, and compared to all the ones that were tightly managed with the risk. So I want to cover that, right? Because we don't just want to cover the wins here. We want to cover the losses as well, because sometimes you could learn even more from the losses than you can from the wins. And again, it was not even a loss. It was a liquidation. And it wasn't a bad trade. It wasn't a bad setup. It was simply not trading the way that my schedule allows me to. So simple mistake, but it got me wrecked. So I want to talk about it. Not wrecked, right? That's another thing I want to talk about, because that one trade that I consider getting wrecked, I could do that 5 times and my account would be fine, right? And that's all by design, right? I even give myself room where when I do make a mistake like that and I get liquidated, it doesn't completely crush my account. And this is something I really want to talk to you guys about because it's very important. But anyway, let's continue on here. Shout out to the Salty Biscuit, or the Salty Bitcoin, as I like to call him. Shout out to you, brother. I will be reaching out to you very soon. Anyone, any of the winners of the 0.02 Bitcoin giveaway, we are going to try to get this out as soon as possible, guys. Tony D is out of town this week, so we're kind of juggling a bunch of things here, but we have not forgotten about you. We will never forget about you. We will get you the Bitcoin. Don't you worry. I'm going to try to do it as soon as possible, but shout out to the Salty Biscuit. Thank you for tuning in, bro. I appreciate you. And he said smash that like button, so don't forget to smash that like button. But anyway, let's continue on here, guys. The one thing that, I don't think is going my way for this trade, at least as of right now, is going to be this was kind of made to be a smaller term or a shorter term scalp long, right? But now looking at the 1 hour money flow coming straight out, even your VWAP starting to roll back over here just a little bit. This is more indicative of a move to the downside in my own personal opinion, right? And this is kind of hard, right? Because money flow is coming out, looking to cross over into the red on the 1 hour, right? Your 16-hour red dot is printing. It confirms in about an hour and a half, 2 hours. And again, like, this is a strategy. Shout out to the video that we just uploaded earlier today. I highly recommend you guys go check that out. It is exactly what the title says, one of the easiest and most simple trading strategies I have ever seen in my life or ever used myself. definitely go check that out, because if you're new to trading and you're trying to become a profitable trader, this may be a good place to start. A nice, simple trading strategy to follow. Nothing really too advanced, nothing too confusing. I try to keep it nice and simple. But with that 16-hour red dot and that 1 hour money flow crossover into the red, the reason I brought that video up is because this kind of technique that I'm talking about is a big part of that strategy that I talk about in the video. But this could potentially, give us a bigger move to the downside, right? Because, again, when you have that 16-hour red dot with the 1 hour money flow crossover, or the 8-hour and the 30-minute, the 4-hour, the 15-minute, we talk about this all the time. Again, if you have no idea what I'm saying, please go watch that video we dropped today. But this oftentimes gives us, could give us a potentially big move to the downside, right? And in my opinion, it could be enough to bring us down to that POC, or even down to this value area lower 786, getting closer to $63,000. And remember that volume gap that we have sitting right here. Bada boom, right? Let me zoom in a little bit and come off the 16-hour. Again, like just understanding where that local volume is sitting, right? Quick move down to the POC is likely. And then if you start losing that POC, probably a quick move down to that value area low would not be an unlikely situation to happen. So, and again, like it's nice because we have this clear level that we need to hold as support. So it's just like a nice line in the sand, right? We lose this decisively. You know exactly where we're probably going to go. Get above it, we have clear targets to the upside. But other than that, the 1 hour and the 16-hour and the 1 hour together with the money flow and the red dot is not looking too hot. Taking a look at our daily VWAP, kind of starting to roll over here. Nothing really super bearish there, or at least it's too soon to kind of tell. And then we come looking at the 12-hour, looking for a red dot. And remember, 16-hour red dot with the 1 hour money flow crossover into the red. If this happens at the same time, just like we expect to move down from that, we could also anticipate that same kind of strategy between the 12-hour and the 45-minute. And when we come to the 45-minute, well, we're kind of already in the red, right? But, if we wind up coming back into the green here and then it crosses back over into the red with that 12-hour red dot, could be a pretty bearish sign in my opinion. So, just to be clear, I'm not just panic closing my long just because I see this stuff on the charts. Like I said, if I get stopped out of this, it will be a small controlled loss, right? This is the big thing that people, I think, get twisted about trading. Like you might be thinking to yourself, well, Frankie, if you're not super confident in the position, why don't you just close it? And it's because I have a plan for that trade, right? And I always say this, it's never going to be as clear as, oh my God, long, right? And sure, you can trade like that and you'll hit some trades, right? But there is reason to get the push to the upside as well. And simply put, we're going to be in times in the market where you're going to have an unclear idea of what you're looking at, right? Should I be long? Should I be short? Because a lot of times, I would argue almost all the time, depending on what you're looking at as far as time frames, there will always be an opportunity to short and long, right? I could be long on the 5-minute while other people are shorting the 4-hour, right? Or I could be long on the 4-hour while people are scalp shorting the 1-minute, right? And they're shorts on the one, and then a beginner trader would look at that and be like, well, someone's obviously wrong here. These guys are shorting like crazy, and this guy's looking for a long. What the heck? This makes no sense. And it all has to do with the context of the time frames that you look at. So just keep that in mind, right? This is a smaller time or a shorter time frame scalp long. And simply put, the main idea here is to get a move into this value area low, get a push up to the range high, and I will be taking most of my profit at this level. Even though I'm expecting higher. Because if we come higher, guys, remember, I am still holding my long positions from much lower, closer to about $40,000, right? My long position entered right down here. I am still holding that trade, right? So I'm just looking at this as a small opportunity to grab some quick money in the market, right? Grab maybe, I don't know, $1,000 right here. Take that $1,000. Not too bad, especially, if we wind up getting that ride out tonight, like make $1,000 today, not that big of a deal on that one trade. And then if we get the break higher, I am still benefiting from that, from holding my longs from lower, right? And, maybe I do hold a portion of that trade as well. But I just want to be clear, there are different plans for different trades, right? I'm not looking to hold this to the moon. I'm looking to hold this to the value area high. And then if I feel like it, maybe I'll hold a little bit of it to all-time highs. But for the most part, I'm just looking to capitalize on this little ebb or flow in the market, this noise in the market where my longer term trades, my swing long from down here is looking to ride the longer term trend, right? So keep that in mind. So with all that being said, shout out to Gerald, said, love this. Shout out to you, brother. I love you. As a friend, of course. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for being here. Let's see. taking 200 at 4 a.m. like a sniper. Shout out to Ice God. Shout out to you. I assume you just took some profit, and I assume you're on the other side of the world if it is 4 a.m. So shout out to you wherever you're tuning in from, and congrats on that quick $400. I'm not going to lie, guys. Like, it does, and I'm sure a lot of people, if you've been watching the channel, if you've been really studying the charts and learning the methods that we use on this channel to make money trading Bitcoin, whether the price goes up or down every single day, it does start to feel kind of cool. I think eventually you get like kind of numb to it. It just winds up feeling like a job. But it is really cool. And I am not one of those people that are going to sit up here and pretend to tell you or tell you the false reality that you're going to be able to lay on a beach, click buy and sell, and make $1 million day trading. And it's super easy and you can just relax and drink pina coladas all day. That is simply not the case. It will never be the case. At least I don't think so, unless AI gets really good maybe. But at that point, it's like no one has a job anyway. But I will say, when you figure this out and you understand the, you start to understand the charts and you understand the risk management, you really start to become profitable. It does really start to feel kind of cool, right? Where it's like, hey, I'm going to get into this trade. And then, at the end of the night, you're like, oh my God, I'm up $1,000. And right when you get the discipline to take that money off the table and you start looking at it as, hey, what did I do tonight, right? Like it happened the other day. I took a trade. I got off the live stream. I took a little bit of a degenerate trade late at night, and I just went to go hang out with Mrs. Candles. We watched a movie, and at the end of the movie, I checked the chart. I didn't get stopped out, and the trade was up like $850, $900, right? And it was a short trade, right? It was like in an hour, right? So I essentially, if you look at it this way, it's like it took me time to build this skill, right? It took me time to look at the charts and find the setup and make sure there was confluence and set the risk management, put my stop loss at the correct place. This all takes work and knowledge and discipline. But at the end of the day, it was a set and forget trade, and I essentially got paid almost $1,000 to watch a movie with Mrs. Candles, which is the coolest thing ever. And again, it's not as easy as just watching movies and making $1 million, right? I don't mean for it to come off like that, but remember, I've spent many times. I've wrecked many accounts. I've been trading for a very long time, and a long period of that was trading non-profitably, right? So I had to go through all that to get to this point. This is not something that comes within a month of trading, within 2 months of trading, right? This comes over time. But once you get there, this is why I always tell people, trading might be one of the hardest things to try and do, but understand nothing worthwhile comes easy. Right? There's a reason why the 1% is the 1%. It's because they literally do this. It's a very common saying. They do what 99% of people don't want to do. And what do 99% of people not want to do? They don't want to lose money trading Bitcoin, right? But if you could just, eat that and, understand that at the end of that tunnel, there is going to be light. And to be honest, you stick it out. I say this to the premium Discord all the time. If you stick this out and you really, really put your mind to this and you truly give it your 100%, once you figure this out, it is the most rewarding thing on earth. I'll leave it there. So with all that being said, guys, that is what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. We'll have to monitor this throughout the stream as we're getting a little bit of a bounce here. I'm not going to lie. I would not be shocked if I got stopped out of this long, but I am going to hold it. And I do have my Solana short still open, which is going to be a nice hedge because even if I lose like a couple $100 on this, my Solana trade at that point, as long as Solana does continue to come down, will be up, multiple thousands dollars. So, that'll cover that loss plus profit very easily. So, with that being said, guys, those are the key levels that we're looking at. Other than that, most things remain the same. Money flow does look kind of weak, to be honest. 1 hour, 16-hour red dot with the 1 hour money flow. If we're going to get the big move down and we're not going to get back above that weekly and my long does not play out, in my opinion, the thing that is going to start that move down will be that 1 hour money flow crossover into the red. And that's not 100% guaranteed, but that's just kind of what I would be looking at, right? Because of that 16-hour red dot, if that makes sense. And again, if you don't know what I'm talking about with this strategy, it's very, very simple. Just go check that video that we dropped earlier today. Go through all of it, and I actually show you a trade that I was currently in using that exact strategy. So we break it down as a trade recap / trading strategy video. It's full of sauce. The only caveat is it does require Market Cipher B. Not a clone, not a copycat, the Market Cipher B, because the accuracy of the money flow is absolutely imperative, I guess is the word. The most important thing is the accuracy of the money flow. So you do need Market Cipher, but if you want free trading strategies, we got tons of videos on the channel for that. Anyway, so you can check those out as well. Shout out to Dirty8 Racing, said, great video. I got to watch it a few times. Shout out to you, brother. That's me, right? When I was on the other side of the screen, that was me. I'm like, I'm watching this thing 5 times because, and that's the other thing too, guys, with trading. It's like everyone thinks, Dirty 8, I'm not saying this is what you were saying, obviously, but, a lot of people think like, it's all a scam. And it's a very scammy space, right? Crypto's super scammy space, but day trading is like a super scammy space as well, right? You got everybody trying to sell you, get rich by laying on a beach and doing nothing, right? But when you see people out there showing their trades and literally showing you the exact strategies that they use, when I was on the other side of the screen, I would see that, right? Or I'd read a book, or I'd see, something online, I'd see a video, whatever it is, and I'm like, these guys did figure it out, right? Maybe not all the gurus are actually out there trading and making money. Most of them are probably lying, but you see, and which is whatever, but, you see there are people out there doing it, right? Day trading wouldn't be a thing if nobody made money doing it. It's just extremely hard. But if you said, for me, it's like I could see that other people could actually do it. And that was enough for my brain to be like, this is possible. I'm either going to figure this out or I'm going to die trying. And it took a lot longer than I thought. I'll be honest with you guys, right? I thought it maybe take 6 months. I thought maybe it'd take a year. It took longer than that, right? I'm not going to sit here and act like I picked up trading in a month, right? I've been interested in trading for forever. And, when I really started taking it seriously, I was pretty unprofitable for a pretty long period of time. But I'm just here to tell you guys, I am the proof that there is light at the end of the tunnel. There's nothing special about me, right? I think the only thing special about me is that I have the stubbornness to push through and really try to figure something out no matter how hard it is. That's the only benefit that I think I naturally had as a personality trait. Other than that, I'm not special. I didn't graduate at the top of my class. I wasn't in AP math. I didn't do any of that stuff, right? School didn't work for me. But here I am. I am the light at the end of the tunnel. And if I can do it, I promise to God, you guys can too. There's not anybody in the Mafia that can't do this, and I am living proof of it. So there you go. If you ever forget that, tune into this live stream, and I will make sure you remember. So anyway, let's go ahead and continue on, guys. If you want me to take a look at your favorite altcoins, go ahead and drop them in the chat. And Rob the Crypto Snob will count out the votes and let us know what altcoins we're looking at tonight. And real quick, shout out to Ian. Thank you for getting that membership, bro. I appreciate you. And hold up, shout out to Golden dropping that Frankie Candles membership, 50 of them. So shout out to Golden. Let's go. You're the GOAT, bro. Drop some of those GOAT sounds, baby. Let's go. Shout out to Golden. Show him some love. I assume you guys already started the golden waterfall. I see it. I just scrolled up. But drop another golden waterfall for my man in the chat. If you got a free membership, let's go. Unbelievable. Yo, Golden. I feel like I owe you my life, bro. On behalf of the Mafia, I owe you my life, brother. And shout out to Lucho wants to see H-Bar. I'll just put that on the, it's good to see you, Lucho. I'm going to drop that on the list for you, regardless of if it winds up on the official list. But we will take a look at H-Bar. And guys, unfortunately, as you know, I don't know what is going on here. I have the worst issues with TradingView right now. Is anybody else getting this glitch? I do not know what's going on. I've updated the app. I've cleared my cache. I do not know what's going on, so let me go ahead and pull up my face cam real quick so I can relaunch TradingView, and hopefully it'll let me actually do what I need to do. I don't know what's going on, man. I never run into. I said this yesterday. Guys, I've been using TradingView since I learned what a chart was, which was when I was literally a kid, right? Maybe 14, 15 maybe. I would love to see the date because it's probably the same email. I would love to see the date of my first TradingView account if I could find that. It's probably when I was 15. I'm not even lying. However old I was as a junior in high school, or a sophomore in high school. But anyway, let's continue on here. All right, so we're back up and running. TradingView is alive. But let's go ahead and take a quick look at Ethereum real quick. And then while Rob the Crypto Snob is stacking up those votes, I see a lot of XRPs. I see a lot of Ethereums. Shout out to Rob. Let's see. Jester says EXO. Shout out to EXO charts. I assume that's what you're referring to, Jester. But yeah, let's take a look here, and we will definitely take a look at XRP as well. So let's take a look here at ETH. Okay, so I mean, for the most part, right? I am kind of looking at the same thing that I'm looking at on Bitcoin, right? Your VWAP on the daily starting to roll back to the downside. 10-hour money flow is in the red. 16-hour red dot is printing. And let's check that 1-hour money flow. Yeah, I mean, same thing, money flow coming out. But like I said, binarily, right? Just factually, looking at the information on the chart, this is a bearish 1-hour chart, right? You have money flow coming to the downside, and on top of that, you have the 16-hour red dot, just like on Bitcoin. So this is factually a bearish-looking chart when looking at Market Cypher, right? So keep that in mind. But remember, I am not leaning that much on the indicators right now, just simply because of where we are in the market. And especially knowing that on Bitcoin, we have that liquidity that is getting closer and closer as we inch up. That is going to act as a magnet for price, potentially sucking price back up. So again, definitely looks bearish. Factually, looking at the information on the chart, like if it's just me relaying information to you guys, this looks bearish. But again, there's a lot of caveats when looking at the market. So let's continue on here. Your 45-minute money flow is, and VWAP is rolling back over to the downside. You guys can see that not only your VWAP is coming down, but this money flow does look like once that red dot prints, it could drag that money flow back down with it. So that is not the best look either. And do we have like let me see what kind of levels we got here. We have any kind of, no, let's check the daily. Yeah, I mean, you have a tapped daily level right here, but to be quite honest with you, this is, it's tapped, right? So I guess you could say you want to hold this level, but it's kind of tapped. It's not the best level in my own personal opinion. Let's see here. Let me see if we can. Yeah, I mean, market cipher looks bearish, I'll be honest. And if it doesn't mean we can't go up, right? I want to be very clear. That does not mean we can't go up. But market cipher, as far as money flow, looks bearish. But look at the daily. Daily money flow is coming up. VWAP, mixed signals on the indicators. I'm not even going to look at them right now, to be honest with you. But for the most part, next major key levels to the downside on ETH remain basically exactly the same, right? High volume node sitting here at 32.49. If we lose that, very simply come down, lose this level, I would be looking down to this blue box sitting between 29.77 and 28.96. So there you go. That is what I would be looking at. 786 is worth mentioning, but we're kind of far away from that at this point. And this is the Fibonacci retracement from this little swing or this impulse right here all the way to the high. Nice confluence on this golden pocket weekly. So I would say, in my own personal opinion, this is like the next real major level to the downside. So, but again, kind of reliant, right? You could kind of look at Bitcoin's signals, right? That's that weekly level, which again, yeah, like now we're back above it. This is like just sketch city right now for that scalp long. But, very simply put, you could kind of look at this as your signal on Ethereum as well, right? You break down below this, you start coming down, at that point, Ethereum's likely going to follow suit, in which case you're going to be looking down to those next key levels that I just mentioned. So there you go. Other than that, that's about all I'm looking at on Ethereum here. Very plain and simple, and to be honest, like not much has really changed since yesterday, right? Just kind of bing-bonging around here. And then your key level of resistance, if you do continue up, is obviously going to be, I hate to sound like a dead horse. I hate to beat a dead horse here. You guys know I love animals, but, this value area low is going to remain key, right? So you get that move up, right? Flip that value area low to support. Obviously, we would expect resistance in this area as it is a golden pocket retracement with confluence on that value area low. But once you flip that to support, next stop is likely the 786. If you flip that 786, I will be looking to not all-time highs. Not all-time highs, but be looking at, new yearly highs, we'll call them, right? So there you go. Line in the sand to the upside. Really, we break that 786 at 38.77. I'm looking for all-time highs. Key resistance at the value area low golden pocket starting at about $3,700 even. And then your key levels below are what we just mentioned. So that's what I'm looking at on Ethereum. Likely just going to follow Bitcoin, though. All right, so there we go. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Harry Potter. What is going on, bro? Thank you for the super chat. He says, Joe Potter in the house. Shout out to Harry Potter. Joe Potter is Joe Potter. Oh, there's Joe Potter. Shout out to Joe. Yeah, shout out to Joe Potter. Shout out to Joe. We got two Potters in the house. Shout out to Harry. But one's a wizard, and one's just a guy with the last name Potter, which is interesting. But shout out to you both. Let's go. Yo, shout out to Mac Man with the hammer, horse, and the skull. That is quite morbid, not going to lie. Seeing that all together makes saying the term or the phrase, I don't want to beat a dead horse, like very visual and graphic. I don't know. Shout out to Mac Man. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Space Ape. I agree with you, brother. Let's see. You guys are too funny, bro. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on. and take a look here. Let's see. Where is our... I'm sure Rob the Crypto Snob. There he is. All coin votes are in and being counted. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Shout out to Harry Potter. It says my uncle... and my uncle P. Diddy, but he's missing. Shout out to Harry Potter. That is some wild stuff, guys. That is some wild stuff. After all the conspiracy theories about Hollywood, it is kind of crazy, all the stuff you see coming to light. Anyway, anybody see that new Netflix special with Drake Bell? Very interesting. I didn't watch it, but I basically watched it through Mrs. Candles telling me what it was about. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue on. There we go. Pin my next comment. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Now we have the altcoins in. They have been voted on, and we are going to be taking a look at H-Bar first. Shout out to Lucho, an OG of the channel. What is going on, my dude? So let's take a look at H-Bar here. Let me see if I can pull up. Let's see. What is our... Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing, bada boom, bada bing. I guess we don't really have a legitimate H-Bar chart. I mean, nothing that's marked up too much. Got some weirdo charts here. Nothing really too crazy, though. Huh. Okay, wow. This is an old chart. This is super old. Nah, that's not that old. I mean, levels are still respected, though. Look at that, guys. I love TA. I love my job, guys. TA, I don't care if I'm a nerd. This is the coolest thing in the world. TA is the coolest thing in the world. I think that's really important if you want to be a profitable trader. You have to be obsessed with this stuff. If you're not obsessed with this stuff, you're at a huge disadvantage. They're not a disadvantage, but if you are obsessed with it like I am, like I just love, like if you're looking at the chart, and you think it is like the coolest thing in the world when you mark out a level based off of Fibonacci or whatever it is, and you see price perfectly interact with that level as you expected, if you get like a weird feeling like, oh my God, like if you don't feel the passion when something like that happens, or I should say if you do feel that, you are on the track to potentially figuring out something that's going to change your life forever. And it's not something you have to wait for a bull run for, right? This is something you can do through bull markets, bear markets, etc. If you've been in the Mafia since we went through the bear market, you will know we absolutely cash in on those shorts. And it's just like it's a 24/7 thing, especially with crypto. The markets don't close. There's 24/7 opportunity in crypto. Coolest thing in the world. But yeah, I'm just a complete chart nerd. I really do. It's just like as I do this every day, I just like consistently reminded of about how much I actually love this stuff. So anyway. And shout out to Money Shot. Thank you for the super chat, brother. I appreciate you. He said, "You the man, Frankie." I say you. Well, he said, "You're the man, Frank." But Money Shot knows me like that, so he can call me Frank. Shout out to you, brother. Thank you for the super chat. And no, you the man. Yeah, you're the man, bro. Not me. Shout out to you. I'm just out here doing what I love. And shout out to Big Bad Wolf. Shout out to you, bro. He Mule is Vitalik's cat. He traded token like sheep. Shout out to Big Bad Wolf. Well, let's go. We can try to take a look at that in a second. But I'm sure, I can almost guarantee you, there's going to be absolutely no price action, so we may not be able to see it or look at it. Yeah, this is going to be actually somewhat identifiable if this is the right thing. You do have some candles you can look at here. So not unanalyzable, but let's start off with H-Bar here. Thank you for the super chat, Big Bad Wolf. I appreciate you, brother. But we'll try to come back to that in just a minute. But let's take a look at H-Bar here. So obviously, guys, we are within our volume profile, clearly, as we have this kind of sideways consolidation. And yeah, simply put, right, you come to the high of the range, you deviate, you get accepted back into the range, bearish retest on the value area high, move down directly to the POC. Guys, this is why we trade the volume profiles. Simply put, right, like, I don't know anything in trading that is as reliable as a volume profile as far as key levels and identifying ranges. It's a literal cheat sheet. It is a blueprint to trading, right, or into the current price action. So you lose the level, you come back up, you try to break out, and what happens, right? You get accepted back into the range, right down to the POC, bearish retest again, right back to the POC, and then you eventually get down to the low as you would expect. And then what happens? You deviate below the low of the range, which is where you want to be looking for longs. This is where all the retail is panic shorting. Oh my God, short, we're losing support. Trading is super easy. You just have to short when you lose support. And then they all get wrecked and we get to move to the upside, where the Mafia waits to come down to these support levels, and I actually prefer to see the level broken, right? Usually everybody panic, again, you see the price action break down and everyone panic shorts, right? This is retail. Most retail will panic short that. But what happens to retail 99% of the time? They get absolutely decimated by the smart traders, right? Or smart money. But You deviate, right? This is where you're looking for longs. What happens? You get accepted back into the range, right to the POC. You flip the POC to support. You go right to the value area high, and it does look like you may be doing the same thing all over again. So we deviate from that value area high with a nice fat old wick here. Big, thick boy. And then we get accepted back into the range. Bearish retest. We could be on our way back down to that point of control, sitting at about 10 cents. So there you go, right? Let me see if we can find any kind of confluence. Let's pull a fib here. Yeah, you do have I mean, this is kind of a wide zone to look at, right? I don't typically like to look at zones this big. It's kind of annoying. But you know, you could look at it like this, right? Where you have your golden pocket POC confluence and then your 786 value area low confluence. You can kind of separate them like that potentially. But for the most part, I don't love that confluence, to be quite honest with you. Let me go ahead and pull from this to the high. Yeah, this would be... Yeah, whoo, baby. I'll tell you what, guys. Let's take a look at these heat maps real quick. Because let me go ahead and pull up the liquidation heat maps really quickly, because I will say this. This level here actually looks pretty saucy in my opinion, right? You have this giant old wick, right, which we could be at risk of swing failing, right? Let me just, I'm trying to log into High Block Capital, guys, and I don't want my screen to glitch, as it does all the time, and just, you know, spam my password all over the internet. That would be less than desirable. But anyway, here we go. Let's pull up that liquidation heat map and see what we got going on, because we have this big wick down here, guys, which, again, makes it likely to swing fail because we could have a lot of liquidity sitting below this level, and I'm going to confirm that by hopefully looking. God, they don't have a liquidation heat map for H-bar, so we can't look at the heat map, unfortunately. But we could assume that there is some kind of liquidity sitting down below this big wick, right? Now, on top of that, you have beautiful confluence. And again, this is sitting at 0.0942 cents. You have beautiful, beautiful confluence with that 786 Fibonacci retracement level. So if we do wind up coming back down there, we could potentially see a swing failure. Or if we do see a swing failure there, that would be a pretty significant place where I would be looking for a long position. So if we get that move, and then once that actually happens, that could be a pretty decent sign to get a move back up to your value area low. And at that point, you're going to be looking for a reclaim of that value area low to come back to your POC and eventually your value area high. So there you go. That is kind of what I would be looking at here. This is definitely a saucy level. Now, obviously, you know, you just saw me pull this fib. We've already tested this golden pocket. So I would put a little bit less weight on that because we've already come down, tested the golden pocket, gotten it bounced back to the high of the range. So if we do come back down, I would really love to see a slip of that low. And even if you don't get the swing failure here, you could still just bounce off this 786. And then once you reclaim it, you could look for that move back up to the high of the range. So this is really what I'd be looking at on H-bar. Let me just double check, see if we have any other like high time frame levels running through that 786 or near this value area low. Let's check the weekly. Bada boom. This is actually not too shabby. Oh wait, hang on. I'm tripping. Never mind. So I will mark this out as a weekly. Let's take a look at the daily. I would love a naked point of control. Yeah, we just don't have it. Yeah. Unfortunate. I would have really liked some nicer confluence there. Otherwise, yeah. All right. Well, there we go. So I will just show these levels before we move on to the next coin. So these new levels that I just found right here, weekly naked point of control. This would be a saucy level to watch, in my opinion, right? So weekly naked point of control right here. So I would kind of combine that with the POC, and then you could look at the value area low as kind of its own level, right? If you want to incorporate the golden pocket into that, you can. But really the thought process here is I'm actually going to take this golden pocket off real quick just to clean things up. I would really be looking at this value area low. So these are kind of the next levels, right? I don't love longing in the middle of a range because you have a weekly naked point of control here and this local 786 confluence as well. I may look for a scalp there. And by look for a scalp there, I mean I would be looking for a scalp there. I don't typically trade H-bar. I can only keep an eye on so many coins. So I'm not actually going to be looking at this likely, unless it's just by chance I happen to see it. But if I were trading H-bar, I would probably be looking at this as somewhat of a long zone sitting between about 10.1081 and 0.1053 as one bounce zone, right? And then that value area low, as always, is going to be a level where I'm looking for longs. But typically, I wait for the deviation here. So I don't know if I would really just long the value area low or look for longs there. So what I would do here is I'm gonna make this a white box, indicating support, but not necessarily a fireplace to look for a long. And the reason for that is just because I love the confluence down here much better. So I would much rather come down to the value area low, and then if we slip it into the 786, that's where I would look for a long. So those are kind of the two major zones. But other than that, let's pull up Market Cipher real quick. Take a look at what we got going on here. VWAP coming back up on your 4-hour. So we actually give away another little freebie here. Bada boom. I would watch this wick for potential swing failure as well. Just simply put, right? This is the sauce here, guys, right? That VWAP comes up on the 4-hour. If we get a move up, I would potentially look for a swing failure pattern on this wick here for a potential short position. And then if you don't get that set up, you're probably coming up to break these highs. But the reason I say that I would look for a swing failure here, I really wish I could see the heat map. But one of the reasons is because of the way Market Cipher B looks, right? Because if that green dot's going to give us a move up, we may take that high. And if we get an SFP here for a potential move back down, what would we also be getting? We could also potentially get a bearish divergence on the 4-hour time frame, right? So you do have some kind of, it looks like Market Cipher, it could potentially set up for a nice short if you do get that move up. So I'll even give you some levels of key resistance here. I would definitely be watching that. I would definitely be watching this right here for a potential swing failure. And remember, that 4-hour bear div may print. So there you go. Shout out to Tony D, just dropping in dollar bills like he's in some kind of a music club or something where people dance around. Shout out to Tony D. Gonna make the Tony D, stop dropping the. Stop dropping. Oh, I can't stop shaking it, bro. Shout out to Tony D, bro. Please do not drop any more singles in the chat, bro. Please do not drop any more singles. I feel like a TikToker. Stop dropping roses, guys. Please. You're pissing me off. And they're really just like panhandling for roses. It's kind of wild. But anyway, if you're not on TikTok, you won't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, let's see. All right, bada boom, bada bing. Thanks, Frankie. Shout out to Lucho. No problemo, bro. Shout out to Crypto G. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. He says, great TA. Shout out to Logan FT. Shout out to you, bro. Said so many green names. I love it. Thanks to Golden for all the green names. So shout out to you, brother. But let's go ahead and continue on. Yo, you guys are funny in the chat right now. I don't want to give it too much attention, but you guys are hilarious. All right, let's go ahead and move on to XRP. I'm going to pull up our actual XRP chart. Guys, do we have to look at XRP? And I say that as an XRP bull, guys. There's nothing happening on XRP. There's nothing to even talk about. It's doing the same thing it does every single day for maybe eternity, guys. I don't know if XRP will ever move up again. I'm joking. I am bullish on XRP. As you guys know, I've been very vocal about this. I am not buying into XRP anymore, partially because I already have a big bag of it. And the money, in my opinion, right, all of the money, when I decided to stop buying XRP a while ago, right, it hasn't moved. It's been the worst performer in my portfolio. I don't want to say worst performer, but it's been underperforming the most in my portfolio. Now, this doesn't mean that it's not just late to the party and it's going to become a top mover in a couple days or something, right? That does not mean that won't happen. But I'm glad. I will say this. I am happy I stopped buying XRP when I did because I reinvested that money that I was going to buy XRP with, right? I was faced with the decision. I have some cash to spend. What do I want to buy? And I'm not going to lie. Oftentimes, the first thing in my head is like, well, it's never really a bad idea in my mind to grab some more XRP. But that's been my mindset for so long. I've developed such a big bag of it that I decided, like, this thing hasn't moved. Is it worth it for me to put any more money into this? And the answer was not really, because I'm already set up if it pumps. And if it continues to outperform, here's the bottom line. All that money I was thinking about buying XRP with, I put into other coins, guys, that are up 2 and 3x, right? And I've also took some of that money and dropped it into trading accounts, and I flipped that money as well. That money was much better spent on this. Right now I have double and 3x my money that I could, if I wanted to reinvest it in XRP, I could. But again, part of the reason is I already have a big bag of it. I feel comfortable with my bag. But, thank God I didn't buy more of this, right? It was like I just 3x my money on other altcoins, and it just wound up being a good decision. Now, it does not mean I'm bearish on XRP. It doesn't mean I don't think it'll pump. But at some point, right, I always say this. I am not the person who is just going to, and I want to be very clear. It's probably the 30th time I said this right now. I am not bearish on XRP, right? I want XRP to go to $1 bazillion. I want it to go up. And again, it's one of my bigger bags, right? So I'm definitely bullish on XRP. If it pumps, I'm set up to make a ton of money, right? But, I think there's some people out there that, it's like, it pains me, right? And this is not me throwing hate. This is me just wanting to help people. I see a lot of people, and it's not just XRP, right? It's a lot of other coins that have this kind of cult community, which is great. I love that. But I think a lot of people who, how many people do you know that are XRP people, right? I only buy XRP. I only invest in XRP. Bitcoin's garbage. Everything else is garbage. I only buy XRP. Flip the switch. $10,000 XRP. And these people only invest in one thing. And this is not hate towards XRP. This is hate towards a non-diversified portfolio, right? These people are just using this. They have this emotional connection to the project where they've believed in it so long. They have this emotional connection to it that they don't want to sell it and they don't want to buy anything other than that asset. But they don't understand that the market does not care. The market does not care how passionate you are about a project, right? So, I just kind of caution people, if you have a bag of XRP, not financial advice, but think about all the projects that are mooning, right? Think about all the projects that have been pumping lately and how much money you could be potentially leaving on the table by just dumping it into XRP. Now, hopefully it pays out in the end, and I think there's a good chance that it probably will at some point. But again, when you're 3X and 4Xing your money, you could always reinvest that back into XRP if it's just sitting stagnant. But either way, looking at XRP, guys, we're just still clinging to this value area low. We got to get above 63 cents. Once we hold it decisively, that's where we're looking for the bigger move to the upside. But we just cannot get above this level. We're playing with it, which is pretty nice. But, red dot on the daily, is that a blood diamond? Sheesh. Yikes. I mean, I'm not saying this is the most bearish thing ever, but it's when you're playing with a key level of support here in hopes of flipping it to support and bringing it up to higher prices, a daily blood diamond is not what you want to see, right? What you want to see when you approach these previous value area lows, guys, is you want money flow primed, looking to cross over into the green. You want to see fresh weekly green dots printing. We don't have any of that. We got a blood diamond on the daily, and we got a weekly VWAP about to cross over the zero line. So looking for a red dot, right? So this would... I don't know, man. This just looks like more pain, a.k.a. more sideways action or maybe even a little bit of a pullback. But other than that, as far as the TA, and I'll be honest, guys, right? When this thing breaks out, it could start to get pretty fun, right? Even if we fill this whole range up to about $1.32, it's going to feel like a gigantic move. And it's going to feel really good. But for the most part, I mean, I want this thing to pump as bad as anyone else. But it's just there's really, I don't even look at XRP that often anymore. So every time I open the chart, I'm I haven't looked at this in a while. Maybe it's primed now. Maybe it's primed. Maybe it's primed. And it's never primed. And anytime it is primed, where you have a daily money flow crossover into the green or something, it's always a boop and then right back down. It's unbelievable. But anyway, everything, all the TA remains the same. Value area low, 63 cents is your key level. Next major target, 83 cents. That daily blood diamond, if that confirms, probably just going to continue to bing bong you around sideways or potentially give you a little bit more of a pullback. Now, pulling this local Fibonacci retracement, go ahead and, this golden pocket would be something to watch. Obviously, we have this value area. So locally, these are the levels I would be watching if you're not looking at the macro levels. Excuse me. Value area high, these are the key levels that I would be looking at. I mean, even in the grand scheme of the volume profile, what do we have going on here, right? Simply put, you under the value area high, rejection, you went right down to the POC. Now we're losing the POC. If we can't get back above that POC, very likely, in my opinion, especially with a daily blood diamond, that we could come back down here to that value area low golden pocket confluence. And I will mark that with a blue box because I would expect that to be some kind of a support level. So we'll have to see what happens. But there you go. Other than that, most things remain exactly the same. Shout out to Long Shark said, can somebody explain blood diamond? So blood diamonds are a signal that pops up on Market Cipher A. So Market Cipher B is down here. Market Cipher A is up top on your candlesticks, and these big red diamonds are called blood diamonds. They oftentimes, right, you can't just see a blood diamond pop up on the chart and then short, right? It's likely not going to be a good play. But anytime you see these blood diamonds, they are signs of potential pullbacks, right? So blood diamond, big old dump. Blood diamond, big old red candle. Blood diamond, dump, right? Blood diamond, pullback. Double blood diamond, pullback. So they're basically just bearish signals on Market Cipher A. So there you go. But again, you don't want to trade that alone. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Bada boom. Okay. Let's see. Okay, that was XRP. Let's take a quick look at Solana, and I am still in my Solana short. Yeah, coming in at 185. Let's go ahead and break it down. I mean, not much has changed on Solana either, right? We have our local volume profile. Volume profile. I can pull up the position here. Let me see if I am logged in. Bada boom, bada bing. There we go. So, boom. So here it is. Let me pull up OBS to make sure you guys can see. So there you go. This is that scalp long on Bitcoin I was talking about. Whoops. Again, I mean, basically at break even, up $60. And then Solana short up almost 1,000. This was up 1,400 a little bit earlier today, up about 66%. So I am still holding that Solana short. We were talking yesterday about how it was getting a little bit suspicious on that Solana short, but I was actually looking for, I was looking to hold the position, right? Why? There were many reasons, and that entry was up here at about 192. And very simply put, guys, like very, very, very simple entry here. We came up where? To the value area high. What did we do? Now, this is actually not how I entered the trade, but we actually entered on Monday's premium live stream, and we actually did bing bong around a little bit. But really, why I held this trade yesterday and went over this on last night's live stream. Simply put, we came up to the value area high. We put in this bearish divergence on the 2 hour, and we also had money flow coming out on some other time frames, such as the 1 hour with a 16-hour red dot printing. This was basically the strategy that I was talking about on Bitcoin 5 minutes ago, and we simply saw the red dot printing on the 16-hour, the 1 hour money flow crossover, the 2 hour bearish divergence. And the fact that, simply put, based off the volume profiles, we deviated from the high. We were basically saying if we come back into this range and we reject off the value area high, the next likely stop would be the POC. And if we lose that POC, the next stop is going to be the value area low. So simply put, we could potentially still see, it's exactly what we were looking at yesterday. We could still potentially see the value area low get hit here, as long as we can lose that POC. So, I mean, simple value area trade. You deviate from the high, you get your confirmations to print, right? Or your bearish signals to print, which is the 2 hour bear div. Acceptance back into the range, bearish retest, full acceptance down to the POC. Now I'm just hoping for the sake of that short, not that I can't take partial, I could take partial profits right now if I wanted to. I could close it out for $1,000 right now if I wanted to. But again, I don't just hold these shorts or hold these longs because, like I was just saying with XRP, right? Like, I'm not just holding this short because I said it was going to go down, and I'm only going to hold it because nothing can change, and I'm just going to hold it because I said it was going to go down, and I have to stick to my word. That is a nonsensical mindset, right? That has nothing to do with where price is going to go, right? Price does not care if I think it's going down. Price doesn't care if I think I know where price is going, right? Price is going to do what price does. So for that reason, I didn't hold this because I thought I was going to be right. I held this because of very specific technical signals on the chart. And what happened, right? Yesterday we were up about $200, $300, between $200 and $400 yesterday on this Solana short. Now we're up 1,000, right? There are reasons to holding these trades, and I like to show them to you guys so when you get into your trades, you can hold your winners for longer. This is also something else that adds to keeping your losses small and your wins big. It's not just cutting your losses when the trading idea is invalidated, aka setting a legitimate sound stop loss, but it's also letting your winners run, right? That way you're not stopping out for $150 and then only making $200 on your trades, right? On your wins, right? That way, if you let your winners run, you could lose $150 or $200 when you get stopped out, and then your winner can be up 5K, up 10K, whatever it is, right? You got to know when to let those winners run. So, and again, I like to share this all with you on the live stream, so you could do this as well. So anyway, in the grand scheme of things, as long as we don't get back above this value area high, we could potentially anticipate a move back down below that POC and a move to the value area low. Simply put, right? And then looking at money flow, right? Take a look at the 1 hour. Money flows in the red. VWAP may be rolling over. So once that red dot prints, it may be the thing that brings us down to that value area low. And again, that value area low is sitting at 173. So yeah, that's big. And then if we do break to the upside, again, same exact thing as yesterday. I feel for some reason that the live stream yesterday was like literally 5 minutes ago. Like I feel like I was live 5 minutes ago for some reason. We didn't go live earlier today, did we? What is going on? I don't know what's going on right now. But anyway, VWAP, if that rolls over to the downside and drags that money flow deeper, that could be the thing that brings us down to the value area low at $172. So let me see. Do I have my short marked out here? I don't. Let me go ahead and mark out my actual short position, which was entered at 192. So like right here. Bada boom. I don't know if that's legitimately where my stop loss is, but basically that would be kind of what we're looking at, right? So, and just proof, right? Just proof that, everybody chases the 10Xs, the 100Xs, the 50Xs, right? Like praying for that gamble to play out. I just want to point out here, right? Now, I'm not necessarily, and I know, it's all different for everybody. I don't want anyone thinking like, for some people, I just want to point this out. I only have $1,400 in this trade of my own money, right? It's a $27,000 position, but I'm only using $1,400 in my trading account right now. Or it's not all the money in the account, but for this trade, it's only $1,400. So, and we're up about $1,000, right? Now, the reason I bring this up is because if you look at this move, right? We're up $1,000 right now, $933 to be exact, right? So we're up $900. Look how much price moved. Right? You do not need price to, like, I always say this. A lot of people get caught up on missing the big moves. Oh, I missed that long. Oh, I missed that short. Oh, I missed the short from the top. It literally doesn't matter if you were a trader. It literally does not matter. Because if you can make $1,000, right? Let's go into bar replay mode real quick, just so we can really put into perspective how little of a move in price you need to make $1,000. Right? Where's price right now? Hang on. Bada boom, bada bing, 185, right? So let's bring this down to 185, and I'm going to pause it. That's 182. Come on. I guess it's just whatever. This is fine. You only have to, we are literally only 3.5% away from my entry, and that is $1,000 made in the market, right? So next time you're feeling bad about missing the big move, right, or missing the big long, this is why I tell people, don't stress out over missing big moves, right? Like, you only need this little move. That's $1,000, right? If you miss this trade, you could have made like 800, right? And it's all depending on how much money you use, how much leverage you use, etc. But, when you're looking at this, you only need these tiny little moves in the market to make money, right? So don't feel bad if you're missing out on moves, right? Like even when the market's boring, there's money to be made, right? Anyway, but continuing on, that's what I'm looking at on Solana. This value area is going to be the main kind of blueprint to where I would expect price to go next. $173 at the value area low, POC at 182, value area high sitting at 193.47. So there you go. We'll see what happens. If I get stopped out, no big deal. We're going to be looking up towards that value area high as our next key level of resistance at $205. Or $205.09 to be exact. So there we go. That's what I'm looking at on Solana. Let's see. SEI is next. Let's go. Bada boom. Okay. So taking a look at C or SEEP, as I like to say. Shout out to Daddy Wellness. If you guys know who that is, you probably don't. I don't think anyone knows who he is in here, but he's a TikToker and he's the man. Anyway, I don't know him personally. Oh, so, I'm sorry, Mrs. Candles. Mrs. Candles. Why you got to come in here and Oh, okay. She said, "Sip." Don't do that. That was the last one. I'm sorry. That was the last one. I won't do it again. Okay, I'm sorry. Anyway, all right, let's continue. Let's continue on here. Shout out to T-Matt, wants to see ICP. Shout out to the posse. Sip. Anyway, sorry, Mrs. Candles. Does anybody know who Daddy Wellness is on TikTok? Please, somebody go look him up. He's hilarious. I like him. He's very funny. But anyway, let's continue on here. Taking a look at SEI. Mrs. Candle's head turns back in the room. But let's see. But yeah, for SEI, what I would be looking at here is, hey, this is pretty clean, right? You have your area of balance here between your value area high, value area low, and your POC. And now you broke out and you've simply created a new kind of beautiful value area, if I do say so myself. Thank you, Mrs. Candles, for turning that overhead on. That was getting hot in here. Excuse me. Look at the support on that previous POC. I talk about this all the time, guys. Sometimes when you break out of a range, either to the downside or the upside, oftentimes you will go down to test POCs or value area highs or lows. Like you're oftentimes going to retest previous value area levels. So when you break down out of this range, you'd be looking at the POC, the value area high and the value area low for potential support. And then you can see we kind of went for that value area low, and then we closed the candles right on that POC before bouncing back up into your old range. But as we look here, we have this new kind of local range sitting up here. Value area high sitting at 94 cents. This would be kind of your next local level of resistance. Let's go ahead and pull a fib here from the high to the low. Not really any kind of support there. I mean, confluence, I should say. Let me go ahead and pull up some of these key levels. Bada boom. Take a look at the daily. Okay, so we do have a naked daily point of control sitting up here. Bada boom. Let's mark that out right there. Also have one down here at the low, which in my opinion is a bit more interesting than the one at the high there. Let's check the weekly real quick. Come on. Indicator. Okay, that's not. Okay. Yeah, so for the most part, guys, I will say it's really those local levels that I'd be looking at. Let's take a look here. Yeah, I mean, you have the value area high. Daily naked point of control of $1.10 would be another level to watch. But if you come back down, right, to this value area low. Let me pull this local fib real quick. Yeah, I would be watching this zone, right? If you do come back down, I would love for this zone to get hit here between 81 and 80 cents. Daily naked point of control, value area low confluence, and 786 in there as well. So, whether you come up to your value area high first or not is another question. But if we come back down here, this could be a place to be looking for longs. Now, taking a look at, let's see. Take a look at market cipher real quick. Yeah, money flow coming back up on the daily, that would be a good sign. Money flow coming back up on the 16-hour and the 12-hour. 8-hour money flow. Actually, money flow doesn't look too bad on SEI. I'm not going to lie. Let's check the weekly real quick. There's no information on the weekly. That is a bummer. 2-day green dot. Looking to print pretty tight to that zero line. Yeah, the money flow does not look good. You have higher time frame green dots. So I will say if you do get a pullback, I would probably be looking, not only at that 786 value area low daily naked point of control, but also incorporating the golden pocket here, bringing that level up to about 82 cents. To be more specific, 0.8276 cents. So that's kind of what I would be looking at here on SEI. Yeah, those are the key levels that I'd be watching. I could hear Mrs. Candles storming the studio right now. But yeah, that's kind of what I'd be looking at. Money flow does not look too bad. So those are your two key levels of resistance, in my opinion. And then if you come back down, I'd be looking for longs at the low of the range. You lose the low of the range, you're simply looking down to this volume profile below to get your next key levels. Shout out to Harry Potter. Shout out to you, brother. He said, if you hold XR Potter coins, aka XRP, please dial 9.8. We all can help and prevent free and confidential support. Shout out to Harry Potter. Shout out to Harry. I will be calling you momentarily. But let's go ahead and continue on. You guys are crazy. All right, let's go ahead and continue on and take a look at FTM. Let's see. Yeah, man. I'll be honest. Your bearish case here. Your bearish case here is going to be. Yeah, your bearish case here is on your not even your 16-hour red dot's not printing. Your 1-hour money flow is already in the red. I'm gonna mark Phantom out fresh for you guys. I'm gonna come up onto the weekly. I'm gonna do some full TA. If you guys are interested in kind of how I do TA when I sit down at the desk, this is how I do it. Start off on the monthly, right? And I'm not gonna. I'm gonna mark. I'm not gonna do the full TA here. It would take too long. But we do have a monthly level here, right? So this is a high time frame key level of support. Monthly, bada boom, right? I'm actually gonna change this to a prettier, right there, right? So we have a monthly level of support down here, and that's really all that's relevant right now on the monthly. Now I'm gonna do the same thing with the weekly. I have a weekly level of support right here. I have videos on the channel to kind of talk about exactly how I find these levels, guys, but I'm just going to run through this quickly on the live stream for you guys to take a look at, right? So you get the weekly level here.
You also have another weekly, an old weekly up here that would be worth keeping an eye on because we are approaching that level potentially. I will take a look to see if we have any weekly naked points of control, which I'm sure we do somewhere up here. Somewhere in this zone. Come on. Come on. Indicator. No, nothing? Okay, I guess it doesn't want to work. Well, we can't find the weekly naked point of control then. No, just won't work. Okay. Well, anyway, let's take a look at the daily. Actually, we could see if there's any, let's see, we'll mark this out as a weekly naked point of control. Let's see. Bada boom. I'm gonna kind of rush through this stuff. I'm not gonna explain all of this, guys. Bada boom. Got another daily here. And we technically have another daily right here. Bada boom. Okay, so let's come back up to our current price action. And yeah, let's turn off that indicator and take a look at what we got going on. So simply put, I'm going to break down these volume profiles. I would look at this as a range. I would also look at this as a range. Locally, obviously. So I'm going to mark this out with a white box. Bada boom. And then you have your value area high, POC, and your value area low. Just kind of get that a little bit more accurate. Bada boom. Okay. And then we got our value area high, POC, and your value area low. And then I got to get rid of this box. Okay, so this is kind of what I would be looking at right now, right? Pull up the visible range real quick. Yeah, so, you know, you got a significant amount of volume up here, significant amount of volume down here, not too much in the middle. And then that weekly is kind of where that volume starts to pick back up. So this could be a key level to watch. So let's say we do get another drop to the downside. I would watch this weekly naked point of control. I don't know how much confluence you're going to get on this. And nothing really too crazy. You know, you do have that local golden pocket. So I'd probably look at something like this for a potential long. Obviously based on, you know, getting those confirmations. You don't just want to blindly long the level there. But, and then I would also look at that 786 value. So, yeah, these are the key levels I would look at. Simply put, to the downside. Looking at the weekly, the golden pocket daily naked point of control between 0.9593 and 0.9433. That is going to be kind of the next major zone of support I would be watching. You break down below that level, I would be looking a little bit deeper down to the 786 value area high confluence down here between about 89 cents and 87 cents, 87.5 cents almost, right? 0.8743. So these are the two key levels I'd be looking at to the downside. Take a look at Market Cipher real quick. Take a look at the daily. 4 hour money flow back in the red. Yeah, I mean, to be quite honest with you, 3-day red dot printing, 5-day red dot printing, 4-day, 6-day in the weekly looking for red dots. Would it be impossible to calm down here a little bit? Cool off, right? Money flow is coming out over time, right? 6-hour money flow, 8-hour money flow, 10-hour money flow, all coming to the downside with higher time frame red dots printing could give us a little bit of more of a pullback, right? So if we do wind up getting a pushback to the upside, I'd be very cautious on this previous value area for resistance. So, you know, right here, key levels above to as resistance. Go shorts. Yeah, so you approach this value area low. This would likely be resistance. If you obviously get above this purple box, you'd be expecting the value area high. But I would look for resistance here for a potential move back down to this key level and potentially this key level. Other than that, and you could potentially come lower depending on how bad these money flow crossovers wind up being. And again, that weekly red dot might be kind of a simple signal that you can look at to kind of start that move to the downside. Or the bigger move to the downside, I should say. But these are definitely going to be the key levels I'm looking at. So there you go. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Let's take a look. Okay, let's go ahead and jump in. How long have we been going here for? Let's see. Okay, yeah, we are. Let's see. Okay, let me just run over these super chats really quickly. Hopefully, I did not miss too many. Shout out to Edward Diamond Hands. He's now Edward Diamond Hands. Get that right. Shout out to you, brother. Thank you for the super chat. Said, use your indicator on TradingView for a quick scalp trade. Saw the divergence and sauce cam. Gave me the extra confirmation and made some quick profit. Shout out to Edward Diamond Hands, baby. I don't know where all the hundreds went, but we're going to throw some 20s for you, bro. Let's get it. Low key almost took the fan off the ceiling there. It was free. Oh, God. The dollar. Hang on, guys. Okay. Yo, that was sketchy. I'm gonna turn this fan off real quick. I think yikes. I shouldn't have thrown that money. I'm probably going to have to use this to pay for the fan. Hang on one second, guys. I apologize. Shh. Don't tell Mrs. Candles. Yikes. Well, shout out to Edward Diamond Hands. Still shout out to you. Bing bong. If you guys are interested in checking out that indicator by Lux Algo, which, by the way, guys, is now a sponsor of the channel. Shout out to Edward Diamond Hands. But, yeah, if you guys want to check out that indicator, simply come up here to your indicators tab and type in Frankie. And you will see right here, Frankie Candles Essentials by Lux Algo here. And it has it says $13.93 next to it. Make sure it says made by Lux Algo. And then you will get access to that tool. It's 100% free, no strings attached. Type in my name, click on the indicator. It's on your chart. It's yours forever. And there we go. Shout out to Edward Diamond Hands out there making money. If it's not just me making money with it, that can prove it works. Ask Edward Diamond Hands. Shout out to you, brother. Thank you for bringing that up. We'll be going over that indicator much, much more in the future. And if you're a new trader and you're new to the Mafia here, I highly recommend you check out our video that we recently dropped on how to use the indicator and how I used it to get into a super profitable trade. We did a nice little trade breakdown with it. And it kind of simplifies all this value area trading, kind of encompasses all of my TA, the volume profiles, the golden pocket, the 786, as well as the divergences, etc., with beautiful encapsulated all into one easy-to-use indicator. So definitely go check that out. But shout out to Edward Diamond Hands, bro. Thank you for bringing that up. Shout out to Money Shot said you the man as well, brother. Thank you for saying that. Let's see. Bada boom. Okay, we read that. Let's see. Shout out to Honest Crypto. Says, hey, Frankie, thanks for the alpha. Shout out to Honest Crypto. No problemo, bro. I'm just here dishing out that sauce for you. No need to thank me, but I do appreciate it. And we got Crypto Pollo. Says, my brother, do you ever get bitter of a trade? What do you do to get over it? Shout out to Crypto Pollo, bro. This is a fire question. The answer is absolutely. Absolutely 100%. I've been bitter over trades. It happens to me less and less now. And the reason for that is actually not what you're thinking. The reason I don't get bitter over trades anymore is mostly because when I lose a trade, it's very controlled, right? And as long as I get stopped out for the small loss that I intended to take on, then it is nothing. There's nothing to be bitter about, right? So I don't care if I lose the trade. I'm actually quite numb to that, right? I get stopped out. I'm like, right? The trades that I get bitter about nowadays are trades which the one I was just mentioning before on my P&L, right? It's tiny loss, huge win, tiny loss, huge win, tiny loss, huge win, and then I had one huge loss. It's trades like that. And the reason I'm bitter over that is because it's my fault. I don't care if the market doesn't do what I think it's going to do. That's not my fault. There's only so much I can do about that. So in my head, I used to get bitter over those. That's kind of over time. I don't know if there's anything other than time that can kind of push that out of your system. But I don't get bitter over just lost trades anymore. If it's a small stop out, right? If I lose $250, right? If I get stopped out of my scalp long right now and I lose $250, I don't even think about it, right? Like there's nothing to be upset about. I have that is way under my max loss per day that I'll allow myself, right? Way under, right? I could lose, much more than that in a day and be fine. So, but it's the ones where I get liquidated, right? Why do I get bent out of shape on that? Well, it's because I should never get liquidated, right? My trading plan is to always have a stop loss set. Very rarely will I purposely have no stop loss set unless I'm sitting at the desk monitoring the trade. So those are the ones I get bitter over now, Crypto Pollo. And how do I get over it? Simply put, I don't get over it, right? And that liquidation actually happened not too long ago. It was actually a couple weeks ago. I'm still bitter over that, right? But I'm not bitter at the market. I'm not bitter at the strategy. I'm not bitter at the setup. I'm not bitter at the indicator. I am bitter at myself because I simply should not have taken that trade because I couldn't focus fully on what I was doing. It was kind of a rush trade. I got into it last minute. I ran downstairs. I went to go hang out with Mrs. Candles. I wound up falling asleep. I woke up, liquidated. That is my fault, my stupidity, I had too much going on. I shouldn't have been in the trade. That's my fault. I'm bitter over it. And the way I get over it, don't do that ever again. And I probably will mess it up one more time again, right? I might mess it up again. But just try not to get too far into your head. But the best way to limit it is limit your losses and just accept, like when you enter a trade, shout out to Crypto Pollo, when I enter a trade, right, I say, I'm either going to make this much money or lose this much money. And then if I have my level set, I can walk away. At that point, I don't really care if it hits or doesn't, right? Because I know that over time, my strategy will hit more than it doesn't, right? So if I wake up one day, I get into a trade, I have my stop loss and my take profit set, I walk away, I make money. Cool. I made $2,000 today. Not bad. Next day, set and forget the trade again. Stopped out. Whatever. Lost $150. Don't care, right? Because I'd have to lose 100 of those in a row, right? Not really, but I have to lose a lot of those in a row to eat up all the profits just from the one day before. And it's not always $2,000 a day, but but I'm not bent out of shape if I lose that trade. It's just okay, that's part of trading. Like some days you lose money, some days you don't make any money, some days you make a lot of money. But as long as those days are never losing a ton of money, right? You get to limit your risk. So shout out to Crypto Pollo. Amazing question. I know I ranted a little bit there, but that's important. So shout out to you, brother. Thank you for asking that. Unbelievably good question. All right, let's continue on. Let's see. Shout out to Crypto Pollo. Tony D dropping those dollar bills in the chat. Shout out to you, brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to the occasional gamble. The name is cut off. I assume that's the occasional gambler. I'm an occasional gambler. Keyword occasional. But anyway, shout out to you, brother. Said 77K today. Watch. Have a favor to ask, please, Frankie. Can you try to call out the numbers on POC value area high, etc.? I'm driving and listening nearly every day. Shout out to the occasional gambler. No problem, brother. I actually have been doing that on this stream, and I noticed that. And it wasn't because of your super chat, though. That's interesting. I just started reading them out more often because I figured it would help people. You read my mind, bro. That's wild. Shout out to you, bro. But I will try to do that more often. I appreciate you listening and driving. And please do not watch and drive. Please be safe and wear your seatbelt. Let's see. Okay. All right. Yeah. A lot of people saying. All right. Let's check out. All right. Let's see. Let's see. A lot of people asking for this. Okay, yeah, I figured this. Okay. Well, it's actually got a decent bit of price action. Okay, so we'll check out Enzyme. I don't know what this is. I don't know. I don't know anything about this. I don't even know if I'm looking at the right thing. So please stop me if I'm looking at the wrong thing. But shout out to I think asked for this. So shout out to you, brother. Let's take a look at this. Money flow crossover on the weekly. I mean, I will be honest. Again, I don't know anything about this. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a scam. It doesn't scream scam to me. There's no way for me to really tell on the chart. But I just want to be clear. I don't know what this is. But it is on Coinbase, so it's probably not a scam if I had to guess. Not that you can't put a scam on Coinbase, but let's take a look here. I'm actually going to pull up some naked points of control here because these are probably going to be the most legitimate. Look at the respect on these levels, guys. So I'm going to take this MPOC. Bada boom. Let's go ahead and grab a monthly if we can. Yeah, we'll grab this. And we'll make that monthly, and then we'll come on over to the daily. This will probably just give us much more relevant levels. Dang. We got a lot of MPOCs here. All right, let me go ahead and, this is kind of hard. Yeah, you got a lot. Let's make this. Boom. Okay, so this is what I would look for. Now, I will say this. Money flow is coming up on the weekly time frame, right? So the crossover into the green on the weekly on a lot of alts does start the bigger move up. And you can see we have cracked the range here just a little bit. We're kind of playing around with the value area high right now. But if we do continue the breakout here, I would look. It would be looking a bit higher here. Let me actually pull up the daily one more time. Come out. Let me get some levels a little bit higher up. Yeah, I don't know why TradingView is so broken lately, man. Why is this happening? Well, anyway, I was going to find higher levels, but it doesn't look like they're going to let me. They're trying to put us out of business here. But anyway, we don't need those levels necessarily. Key level to the upside, you can see we just kind of front ran that level slightly, but this weekly naked point of control is going to be a key level of resistance, right? So you come up here, could potentially look for resistance at that level. Flip it to support. I would be looking higher up to this little zone right here specifically. Mark it out with a box. Bada boom. Neutral. Let's go POC. Value area low. And yeah. So if you do come back down here, guys, I would look for potential support on these two naked dailies / monthly / value area low. This is a gigantic range, but there is no way for me to know which one we're going to bounce off of. One thing I can say is the monthly is likely to be stronger than the dailies. So the monthly is in pretty good confluence with that value area low. And then those dailies can kind of be a pocket of their own, right? So bada boom, bada bing. So your value area low here is sitting at 1650. Your POC is sitting at 2371. Your value area high is sitting at 2794. So, just in the grand scheme of things here, you are still working within the bounds of your volume profile. So if we cannot get a breakout of the high here, we would look to go to the POC and then back down to the low, understanding we have key support levels in between. And then if we get the breakout, this weekly naked point of control is your next biggest level of resistance. Until once you break above that, I would be looking up towards this new value or old value area above between about 50.72 and 59.77. It's your value area low and value area high. Your POC sitting at 52.10. And then that would be kind of the next major zone I would be looking at to the upside. Other than that, I'll be honest. Let me pull up Lux Algo real quick on the higher time frames. Let's see here. Bada boom. Let's see. Let's come to the daily. Let's come up to some of these other higher time frames. Now, another thing you can look for, are you getting it? Yeah. This weekly smart trail. Guys, this is one of the biggest things that I look at on Lux Algo. You can see it right here. I'm going to highlight it a bit more for you just so we can see it a bit better. But this is one of the main things that I like to look at on Lux Algo, right? So you have the smart trail. Come on. Where are we at? Right here. So you can see the smart trail running right through here, right? Where those two, these are the two pockets, right? The MPOCs, the monthly, the dailies, and the value area low. This is all kind of a big support zone, right? Specifically the daily naked points of control, the monthly, and the value area low. But look at your smart trail on the weekly. Similar to the money flow crossovers on Market Cipher B, right? You see the money flow crossover into the green on Market Cipher B. This is an indication that you're maybe able to get a much more upside. Very similarly on Lux Algo, when you see that weekly smart trail flip from purple, which is bearish, to blue, which is bullish, it would be red and green if you're using the default settings. You can see this is flying right through this zone of support, giving this a very high likelihood of a reaction, in my opinion. And you can see it also comes in beautiful confluence right between your golden pocket and your 786. So this zone is going to be absolutely super key, in my opinion. So if we do come back down, right, if that, let's say that weekly red dot prints on Market Cipher B, we get a pullback, especially if the smart trail on Lux Algo is flying through these zones. This is a major level to look for the bounce, in my opinion. These smart trails are no joke. This is one thing that I really, really do use to find not only entries on smaller time frames. Like if you just go into like bar replay, I highly recommend if you guys have Lux Algo Premium, you backtest this. And if you don't have Lux Algo Premium and you guys want to save some money, you could click the link in the description down below. I use Lux Algo for many different things. A lot of times I use it for lower time frame entry signals, right? Like I'll find a trade I want, go down to a 1 minute, 5 minute time frame, and there's a specific entry strategy that I use. I talked about it on the live stream before. I covered in the premium a lot, but it's very, very nice. Actually, in the video we dropped today on the super simple trading strategy that you guys can use, definitely check that video after this live stream because I actually show you guys that Lux Algo entry strategy. It's very, very saucy, but definitely check that out. But it has a lot to do with the smart trail. And if you just go back in time and you backtest the smart trail in like any time frame, typically when you come down to the smart trail as support, right, you will wind up seeing a bounce, right? This happens time and time again, especially if it's in confluence with a golden pocket or a 786 retracement, right? So here you see the candles turn blue, smart trail turns blue. You're going to be looking down towards that smart trail for support. You front ran it here slightly, but usually when you dip into the smart trail, you will get the bounces to the upside, just like when you see your smart trail bearish or red like this, when you retest into these levels, it's very likely that you're going to get a rejection or another lower high to come in before continuing to the downside. And then when you flip it bullish, you're looking for the higher low instead of the lower high, right? So simply put, very similar to a moving average, right? You come up, rejection, continue downside. Come up into the bearish smart trail, continuation to the downside. Then you flip to bullish, right? And then when you retest, and again, we front ran it here, but oftentimes you will tap it. And you also did get a buy signal here, strong buy signal here as well. Nice confirmation signal. But then once you push into that smart trail, you will see the bounces come in. Very, very often it looks like this, where you just come in and instant reaction. So anyway, when you see that on something like the weekly, and especially when you have Market Cipher agreeing with it, that is oftentimes a pretty good sign of if you do get a pullback, you're very likely going to get a bounce off that level. And we have the naked points of control and the Fibonacci levels to agree with it and the value area low. So many, many reasons to be looking for a bounce between those levels, right? Between really, I would say 21 and $18, all the way down to about $17, $16.50 at the value area low. Very large level or big kind of zone, but it is kind of a it's a higher time frame, right? So there you go. But yeah, if you guys want to save money on Lux Algo, they are a sponsor of the channel now. You guys can go ahead and check the link in the description down below. They have a million different options on how you can subscribe. You can pay monthly, annually. You can choose to only have certain parts of it, so it's a little bit cheaper. They have a super cool way that they break down on how you can sign up or use the actual subscription. Definitely highly recommend them. So go check them out. And don't forget to check out my free indicator by Lux Algo, Frankie Candles Essentials, if you don't have the money to spend. But if you do, go ahead and save that money with our discount code. All right, let's go ahead and continue on here and see. Let's go ahead and take a look at, let's see, 770, let's go. What is he talking about? Oh, baby, 771 likes. Let's go. 850, we're giving away $100 in XRP tonight to one lucky CandleMafia member. But guys, with all that being said, I think that's all the time I got for tonight's live stream. I'll see you guys tomorrow, same place, same time. We'll have to see what happens on Bitcoin. I'll do one last check-in here on that little scalp long. Let's see. I could show the chart too. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Let's come down to a lower time frame. Let's clean up the indicators real quick. Yeah, I mean, we're in the green. We got to hold above that weekly, guys. $69,000. I mean, honestly, these $69,000 even, but we decisively lose that weekly, guys. Remember, we could see that quick move down to about $67,235. We break up back to the top of the range and flip this purple box to support at 71.5. I will be looking up to higher prices. It's very simple line in the sand here. $69,000. We lose it, very bearish. Look into the targets down below we looked at earlier. If we hold above it, we're going to be looking at the higher targets that we've been looking at on the show forever. So with all that being said, Mafia, I think that's all the time I got for tonight's live stream. Don't forget to smash that like button on your way out. And let's see. Yo, you guys are funny. But anyway, great night of sauce again. Thanks. Shout out to D. Merck. Thank you for being here. Darren does things as always. And guys, I don't know if I ever fully announced this on the live stream, but we did just add Darren to the premium Discord team as a second trader or second analyst. So yeah, not only do we have me dropping sauce in there, but I got to fix this hat. Why is this crooked? But yeah, we got Darren in there dropping sauce of his own. And people are absolutely loving it and eating it up and just licking their plates clean of Darren Does Things sauce. And he do be in that Discord doing things. So with all that being said, guys, don't forget to smash that like button on the way out. I will see you guys tomorrow, same place, same time. Hopefully Bitcoin does something exciting. We get to move more than $100. Yeah, we'll either get stopped out of that long or... But if we get stopped out of the long, the Solana short will absolutely print. So we'll have to see what happens. Thank you guys for sticking around to the end of the stream. I'll see you guys tomorrow, same place, same time, right here, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frank Candles YouTube channel. See you guys later. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Pick a side, pick your poison. Pick a side, pick your poison.
Phone started jumping, what a day. Swear to God I need it, now I can't afford to wait. I just had a fan hit me up from Kuwait. Told him this would happen and we not a minute late. Seen him down bad, now they tryna hate. Same ones try to hit me for the raise. Got a mail, now they coming with a blaze. Check the numbers, fam, I swear I'm getting paid. I'm a Don just like the Perrier. It's one time when I'm looking at a face. On the low like I'm pushing up the bass. Come down and I'll meet him at a gate. Got a check and I bought myself a place. They get some money and they blow it on bait. I don't flex, but I'm pushing all the weight. Told them all, I swear I got it's what it takes. Phone started jumping, what a day. Swear to God I need it, now I can't afford to wait. I just had a fan hit me up from Kuwait. Told him this would happen and we not a minute late.
I'm saying it if I want to. See it? How does this thing go live all the time? How does it take the thumbnail off? Sorry, guys. Mrs. Candles told me if I don't stop going, see it, she's going to break up with me. But I say free the see it. I don't think anyone knows what I'm talking about, guys. Look up Daddy Wellness on TikTok, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Anyway, guys, I'll see you tomorrow, same place, same time, 5:45. Pray for my Bitcoin long. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. we go. At the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On the roll, here we